Awesome, guys. So today's webinar, I wanted to do it on the 1000% formula. And 1000% formula is basically how to multiply your income 10 times. So how to earn 10 times more than what you're earning right now within the next 10 years. And some of you might say, oh my gosh, 10 years is an awful lot of time, right? But guess what? If you don't do this, the 10 years will pass anyway. And the chances are that probably your income will remain pretty much the same as it is today. So the fact is that if you don't do it, then for sure it's not going to increase. However, if you do the stuff that I'm going to share with you today, the chances are that probably you'll multiply your income 10 times faster than in 10 years. So guess what? It's definitely worth doing it. So what are these things? And it's basically 7 things that you need to do. So number 1 is arise 2 hours early before you have to start work, right? And one of the things you want to do with that time is read 30 to 60 minutes. Now, when I say read, it's pretty broad, right? I mean, you don't need to read. I mean, you can read a book if that's your thing, but nowadays we're in a technology age, right? So you can be listening to the audios, you can be watching a video, you can be on YouTube, but basically invest in yourself 30 to 60 minutes every single day. And preferably you want to read or watch or listen to something that is actually going to help you to get better in your field, in whatever you do in your field, right? So for example, you know, if you want to get better at recruiting people, then guess what? Those 30 to 60 minutes, if I was you, I would spend that day, every single day, those 30 to 60 minutes watching a training on recruiting, or listening to an audio CD on recruiting, reading a book about recruiting, about leadership, about, you know, personality, about communication, etc. You know, if you want to get better at sales, then again, I'd spend that time you know, working on learning on sales, etc., so that I can become better at this particular thing. You know, I mean, yes, it's good also to read motivational stuff, inspirational stuff, etc., but don't just live on this mental candy. You know, too many people you know, only listen to positive stuff, you know, and you are great and you whatever, you know, and they, you know, cheer on everybody else, etc., but don't be a cheerleader. You know, be in the trenches, do the stuff that needs doing, etc. And in order for you to do that, guess what? You need to start learning skills training, not just motivational, inspirational, the sort of mental candy. Okay. Number 2 is rewrite and review your 10 major goals every morning. So again, I mean, 97% of population don't even write the goals, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know, I always give the example of a football game, and I go, if you take the goals away, you just have 20 idiots running around the field with the ball. So that's pretty much the same in your life. If you don't have goals that you set, then you're just running around without having any direction, really. But even writing them down once is not enough, really, because you wrote them down in a week, in month, in 2 months, you're gonna forget about them. So the best thing to do is to keep rewriting your goals every single morning. Basically, what you're doing by doing that, you're basically programming it really deep into your subconscious, you know, and you're really enabling your mind to go and look for the opportunities and the people and the situations that will help you to get closer to those goals. Number 3 is plan every day in advance. I mean, again, if you're not doing that, you are just literally gambling your time, etc. And at the end of the day, time is money. Time is an investment, right? So, you know, they say failing to plan is planning to fail. So reality is that if you don't plan your day in advance, then you really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and how you're going to go about, etc. And planning your day, it's not something complicated. All there is, you know, you have a diary, and the evening before, you just sit down and quickly jot down what are the most important things, or actually what are all the things that I want to do tomorrow. Once you wrote those down, then you pick 2 or 3 that are the most important, which you're going to attack first. And once those are done, then you can do everything else. That's basically planning every day in advance. So it doesn't have to be something really complicated or something that takes a lot of time. But just doing that will increase your productivity absolutely incredible. Okay, number 4 is set your priorities on tasks and concentrate on the most valuable activities at all time. Okay, so basically, again, we call it eat that frog. And what we mean by that is that normally try to concentrate on the task that is most uncomfortable, because usually that's the most important task. So if it's calling people, then it's probably going to be the most important task. If it's going out and talking to people, probably that's going to be it. Or if it's going out and giving out leaflets or whatever, probably it's going to be that task. So basically, usually the most uncomfortable and the task that you're afraid of doing, that's the most important one, right? So that's just a rule of thumb, okay? But always try to prioritize your time and really spend it on the most valuable things first. Okay, number 5 is listen to audio programs in your car. Now, again, you've probably heard me say it before, but successful people don't even know if their car radio works, because in their car stereo they've got motivational, inspirational, etc., CDs, etc. Like nowadays the technology is advancing. In my car I got Bluetooth, so I just play stuff straight off my phone, so I don't even need CDs anymore, anything like that. I can go download stuff from the internet, put it on my phone. As I'm driving, I just start playing it from my phone, and it's going through the speakers, etc. I'm listening to different stuff, etc. Even now, as we speak, I'm actually converting some videos into audio, so I can stick them on my phone, and I can be listening to these $1 million mentors. So reality is that it is your responsibility. I mean, nobody's going to come and stuff that information into your head. If you really want to become better, if you really want to become a leader, if you really want to earn the income that you've never earned, guess what? You're going to have to start investing in yourself more. So, and an average person in business, they travel quite a lot in their car. They're driving around a lot in their car, or they're on public transport, etc. So if you're on public transport, guess what? Have it on your phone, have it on your iPod. You pop it, the earphones in your ears, and you're listening to something that is going to educate you, that's going to make you a better recruiter, better leader, better sales, person, etc., whatever it is. Okay, number 6 is ask 2 magic questions after every experience. So number 1 is, what did I do right? And number 2, what would I do differently next time? Now, if you notice, both of these are positive questions. They don't say, what did I do wrong, or where did I fail, etc., which is actually what most people do most of the time. They actually concentrate on something that they did wrong, right? And they go, oh, what happened here, what happened wrong, etc. Let's criticize this thing. You don't want to do that. Go, what did I do right, and what would I do differently next time? And guess what? Even if the the event or the something appointment went really, really well, you could go, okay, so what did I do right? Okay, I did this right, I did this right, I did this right. Awesome, let's keep doing that. But also, what would I do differently? Oh, maybe I would speed it up there. Maybe I'd show them a little bit of that before I say that. Or maybe I do this or that, etc. Again, just analyze it, etc. But if the event didn't go very well, again, don't just go, what did I do wrong? Go, what would I do differently? What would I change in that situation? What would I do differently next time when I'm doing that, etc. And again, that will help you to become better at what you actually do. Okay, and the last one, number 7, is treat every person you meet like $1 million customer. This is really, really important, and especially when I have new people start in the business, very often, what they do is what we call prejudging. So they look at the person and go, nah, he's not going to be interested in what I've got to offer. Nah, he wouldn't be interested either. And they basically prejudge the person before they even spoken to them, before they even gave them a chance, before they even offered something to them. They see somebody and they go, nah, they look too rich, or they look too poor, or they look too whatever, right? And they prejudge the person. This is something you really don't want to do, because from experience, I've seen, even in my team, I've found leaders in the most unbelievable places. And you would not think that that person, would be a leader or could become a leader, but these leaders came from those places, etc. So that's why I never prejudge now. Every single person I meet, I treat them like $1 million customer. Like that person could potentially buy $1 million of product from me, right? It doesn't matter where I meet them, how. But because if you treat people like that, guess what? Do you think they're going to like you? Because how would you treat somebody who you think is going to buy $1 million of product from you? You would treat them very, very nicely, wouldn't you? You would treat them with respect. You would treat them seriously. You would talk to them. You wouldn't patronize them. You would really think, oh my gosh, this is a serious person. They potentially can change my life, etc. Well, guess what? Every single person that you meet on a daily basis have that power to change your life. exactly the same way how you have the power of changing their life too. So treat every single person like they might be the top leader in your team, because you never know who's going to be. Now, of course, most of them are not going to be, they're not even going to join your business. However, those that do, because the way you treated them, they'll go, wow, he's seeing potential in me. She's, seeing, what I could do actually. And I think I could actually. And a lot of people just need that encouragement very often. And then they can actually perform very, very, very well. Okay. So this is really the 7 keys to 1000% formula. And if you did all of these things every single day, guess what? You will multiply your income 10 times. I can promise you that. This is just absolutely incredible. But this is what we call discipline. This is what we call discipline. And too many people are lacking this very, very important trait. This discipline, disciplining themselves on a daily basis to do what it takes to achieve the results that they want. Too many people are dreaming, but they're not doing what it takes. They're not prepared to do what it takes to achieve those things that they want to achieve. Okay, guys, I hope you find this useful. I'll stay